Good morning and welcome back to the Boat Nick. This morning I'm continuing to work on this little Com-Pac 16 sailboat. I've added the bowsprit, done some other modifications around the halyards back to here, through some cheek turning blocks there. A couple other things. In effect, I'm turning it from it's a 1980 sailboat, so it's a Mark I, but in the sense of sailing performance or whatever, I guess you could say, I'm modifying it into a Mark II. It certainly still wouldn't be considered a Mark II. It's still a Mark I with modifications to make it to a Mark II. So it moves the mast slightly forward and gives a larger head sail, and makes it a little bit less weather helm, a little bit easier to balance the boat, that kind of thing. So it's good improvements. But up here, the mast helms, basically the forestay, this is going to move forward, or excuse me, this is going to move upward 12 inches, be located here. For the time being, at least, the shrouds will stay where they're at. I may later make new shrouds and move them up here as well. But for now, today I'm just going to be moving just the forestay attachment and rebolting it up here and then making a new forestay. And then that will let me use the Mark II head sails, which are taller, and the J goes from like 4.5 foot to 5'4" or something like that. So just a little bit larger sail. Here's a little trick you very well may already know when you're trying to get something aligned around a circular object. You can take a piece of paper, explain on notebook paper, whatever, typing paper. Kind of need two hands to do this, but anyway, when you run it around and then you line it up with the other edge like that, and then you can use that to mark the other side so that it lines up, or to mark all the way around a pipe for cutting it or whatever. Anyway, it works pretty good. Like I said, it's easier to do with two hands, but you wrap it around it and then shift it back and forth until your edges line up. But that looks like a quarter inch bolt there, I'm pretty sure. So I'll just use the same size hole here and drill that. I'll probably drill it from each side, and then that way I'll know they're aligned. Drill this side and then drill the other side. And then I'll take this apart and move just this upper part. I think it's called the hound or mast hound. I'll move that up to here. And like I say, I'll leave the shrouds and tangs where they're at. Put those back. So what I've got is the old turnbuckle here, and then I've got my new piece here that I'm going to be cutting to length, and I needed just a touch more length, so I've got an inch added right here to begin with. So I've got better mast adjustment than I had before. It's got a couple of 5-pound weights on it to hold it, and then I ran the two lines side by side here, and this is the old attachment here. So I need to add 12 inches. Of course, that would be vertical straight up the mast. I went 12 inches, so I need to go about 12.5 inches or so, because of the angle. So I'm gonna just do another fitting like this right here, except for 12 inches or 12.5 inches longer up here. and I'll cut this one off with the grinder, and then, you know, feed the other one through and attach it right here before I crimp it. All right, there's where I just took my grinder with a cutoff wheel in it, and I cut that off real carefully so that I could keep that in there. Able to get it off without cutting or nicking that, and that way I can not have to scrounge up another one. And there's the length. That's the length that the top of the curve, or the apex of the curve, and then I just cut it off random length a little bit longer. Okay, that's pretty tight. Okay, and then the tape was where my center was, so still pretty close on that. Like I say, you cut off your tail end there of that wire, you got to be very careful not to go through and hit your other one. Okay, so There's the okay. There it is set up. 12 inches higher. So the mast modification worked out well.